Hey there!
Hi.
So I know it's been a while since we posted a video, so we would just kind of wanted to give you an update on how everything's going with the adoption process, and we're just gonna spend about 5, 6 minutes kind of giving you a rundown. I mean, we're in the holding pattern right now, so we're in a holding phase, so there's not a lot of updates. So instead of boring you every week with just nothing, we wait until we have something and then we post.
Yeah.
So,
First off, thank you so much. We finished the month of October pretty strong, and we actually, thanks in part to a family that made a generous offer to us, we raised $4,465 for the entire month of October. So, wow, and we could not have done that at all without you guys, and so we really appreciate that and helping us to reach our goal. Just chipping away at it, it's one of those things where you look online and you see that goal and how much is left to go, and it can be somewhat of a bummer to see how far we got to go, but then you just see it. There's hope every single day when you guys help us out and make a donation.
yeah.
We talk about donations every week, so we're going to go into talking about something else. So,
Right.
one of the things that was kind of cool that happened this past week was we got word that a child was in need of some parents, and so we were kind of gauged some interest to see if we were interested in taking them in. We go into all this stuff with cautious optimism, and so it would be very nice if that came through and all. But at the same time, we're very careful to make sure that we don't get our hopes up and then get slammed and feel hopeless again about that. But it's just great to know that people are hearing us and wanting us to be parents and find their own ways to help us out. We really love them a lot, so we appreciate that.
Yeah. So this is like the second time that we've gotten notice of a child that needs a home, and like Mike said, we're cautiously optimistic, but it's kind of just in the back of our minds. I mean, we provided information about ourselves, and we have a profile ready to go in the event that they do want to follow through. But it's just the legality of it, and this particular child is out of state, and we don't know if the mom is going through postpartum or if she really doesn't want her child. And so it's really kind of an emotional thing, but I have to kind of get a grip on myself when I start thinking like in terms of the future, in terms of, oh my gosh, we could actually have a child this week. Oh, the things I need to buy, a car seat, we need to get a bed, we need to get clothes. Now, I get so caught up in it, and I'm just like, okay, wait, hold on, this is not logical. I need to stop what I'm doing. So, just to kind of give you a little insight into how that makes us feel, but we totally appreciate, this is the thing about it. We're doing these videos because we want to make an impact on people who are thinking about adopting, and also we want to bring our family and friends along on the journey. And so we just want to be real and say, hey, this is how we feel. Don't get me wrong, it's not to discourage people from reaching out to us in the event there's a child that needs a home. But it's a journey, it's a ride. So just letting you in on what that looks like.
Yeah, so, and in doing that, me and Asher go to counseling, marriage counseling, not because we're in a crisis or anything like that, but we do go to counseling occasionally to just keep our marriage healthy.
On a monthly basis.
Well, I wouldn't say monthly, but
we go every 2 weeks.
Yeah, so anyway, we do go to counseling, and we got a great counselor that's been there for us. But something that actually was kind of cool that happened earlier today was she invited us to go to meet up with a couple who was also going through the adoption process too. And my big takeaway from that is that in doing this, it feels a lot like we're doing this on our own, and we're the only ones going through this problem, and or going through this, not a problem, but just going through this when others don't. And just to hear a couple that literally is the exact, almost the exact same situation as us, is going through the same process. And so listening to them, and they're a little bit further earlier in the process, and so it was kind of a relief just to hear people talk that they're going through this, and we understand what they're going through, and now we bonded with a couple, and it's just great because now we built like a support group, and who knows where we'll take it there. So we're very gracious with that,
and just that opportunity to be there for someone, to provide that spiritual support, and just to be able to tell them, look, this is hard, it's tough, and just be real with them. And then also, what I got out of that was the fact that God's plan for our life is really living out. It's coming to fruition. He has a purpose for us, that we're not just going through this in vain. We're not just going through this because, I think the Josephs need some pain and we want to send them through the ringer. He has a purpose for us to touch others' lives. And I think that was just such a happy moment for me because we got to tell our story and help another couple through what might be the biggest decision in their marriage right now. So that was really rewarding. So.
Yeah, and another thing that happened was that we recently passed our home study. So surprise, really. Really,
okay,
no,
don't be
really.
too cocky.
Not
okay,
really.
Right. Yeah, let's tone that down a little bit.
No, but for real though, we're very gracious that we're able to pass that home study and move on to the next step, which is basically applying for scholarships and grants. So I know we talk about that every single week.
Yeah.
We keep saying that we're doing that, but it's one of those things like Esther said earlier, it's a holding pattern. So we're saying what we're going to do, but we can't do it yet until we get the green light. And once we get the paperwork back in, we should be able to move forward with that and get that ball rolling. So
yeah.
So
that's exciting. That was really exciting. We found out, I think it was like Monday, and so the caseworker is going to send us over the home study write-up, and we're just going to make sure we look it over and make sure that it says what we want it to say, or if there's any errors or discrepancies, send it back to her, and then she's going to send it off to Gladney so that it's so that they have the home study where we can go to the next step there. Next step for Gladney, for the adoption agency, is for us to come up with a profile book. And they want a physical book, and they want several of them. And so they don't do like the scrapbook thing. This is like a professional book that we have to kind of tell our story. And so we'll be working on that while we're working on the scholarships and grants, and hopefully we'll get funding. And we'll just move right on along in the process. So that's all we have for this week. Again, we really, really appreciate your donations, your prayers, and just your motivation and your support. So
but we're still very honored about how much we've made so far, and look forward to keep going, getting closer and closer to that goal.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right.
When we have new news. All right. Love you guys.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Love you.